Hello and welcome to another Zwift racing video. This is stage 2 of the Flamme Rouge racing series Tour Britannia, and this is the triple loops course, like 1.5 times that course, so 69 kilometers long and like 930 meters of climbing. There are two segments in play in this race today. There is the Mall Sprint and there is the Leith Hill climb, and we go over both of those twice. And there's also one climb up Box Hill, but that doesn't go past the segment start marker, so that's not a point segment in this race. So the sprint here was like the first feature in the course that would kind of cause a bit of a fracture in the group, because it stayed as one kind of big blob until this point. And I did a kind of okay sprint for me. I did over 800 watts and some kind of pretty good high cadence on this, so kind of okay. And I think I finished 23rd on the leaderboard on this, so that's pretty good for me. And then we come to the first climb of the race, which is Leith Hill, and it's a bit of a funny climb because there's about 4.5 kilometers of climbing to do before you actually get to the segment, and then there's about 1.9 kilometers of actual segment for the climb. And I was with the front group until this point, and then a bit like yesterday's race, they were pushing a bit harder up the non-segment part of the climb, and I figured I'd happily kind of drop back a bit, so I'm not burning matches on parts that don't really count. It's the segment that I was kind of most interested in. So yeah, I'm not going to burn energy leading up to the segment, and then final I haven't got so much where it counts. So let those guys go, but I can't drop back as much as I did yesterday. There were more people behind us. I think the climb started a bit earlier yesterday, so there were more people behind us. So yesterday I dropped back to 85th, and then managed to kind of find my way back to about 40th at the top of the climb. Here there wasn't quite the same numbers behind, so I dropped back to around about 57th here, and then worked my way back to like 45th by the top of the climb. And then we come round to Box Hill, and this is not a point segment in this race because we don't go past the segment start line, but people are still interested in pushing because they want to get a good event time, so that's fair enough. So I probably would have kind of liked to have taken it a little bit easier on this just for recovery's sake, but yeah, that's fine to kind of push a bit as well. People want to get a good time, so I'm happy to kind of pitch in with that. And then once we got to the top, I did actually say let's group up and kind of try and work together, and we did just that, and we worked kind of really well. From this point on, it's just a kind of grind back through London and back, going over the same ground that we've just done to take us round to the foot of Leith Hill, which we're going to make the climb up for the second time. And so yeah, it's been working like really well, really cordially. Everyone was pitching in, kind of doing their fair amount of work on the front until we get to the foot of this climb, and then it's kind of like all bets are off, and it's like every man for himself basically. And so I did the kind of similar approach that I've done to the last time up Leith Hill and on everything bagel again. I'm kind of happy to drop to the back and draft these guys where I can, and then try and just kind of make my way back through them. And as we get to about halfway up this climb and definitely towards the segment start line, the cracks are kind of starting to appear and people are starting to kind of fall behind. And I was kind of looking at that thinking, okay, it's a good time to like try and push on, do what I can, and kind of get the best finishing position that I can out of this. So I'm not going for a segment time this. I've already done my segment time, but I'll just do what I can for a kind of decent finish. Unlike yesterday, I didn't make the mistake of thinking the segment banner was the end of the event, so I knew it was 500 meters after that to keep going. So I do a kind of nominal sprint, not very much, but just for the hell of it, do what I can, and then cross the line in 35th. So I did kind of okay for me in this event. I did I think 6:14 on the Leith Hill segment, and I did like 11 seconds on the sprint segment. So I'll wait to see how they pan it in the GC. I don't think the sprint will be too high, but hopefully the kind of Leith Hill effort was kind of reasonable enough. But yeah, I'll see how that goes in the GC. And I did some kind of pretty good power numbers for me throughout the race. I got a couple of PRs on my kind of 1.5 hour, 2 hour time. So that's always pretty nice to do. But yeah, it kind of felt pretty good. I really enjoyed like the first climb, and kind of enjoyed the Box Hill bit, and the bit in between that, the kind of going back through the course in London was a real grind. I didn't find that particularly fun to do, but I did then really enjoy the second climb up Leith Hill, especially like as the kind of cracks started to appear in some of the other riders and realising I could kind of make some positions back. That was really good. and it was nice not to drop positions at the end like I did with the mistake from yesterday, not realizing where the event finished. And yeah, getting a stronger finishing position overall was quite nice too. So yeah, on to stage 3 tomorrow. And thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.